We've already had a look at two cafes and their bike parking in Cottesloe. One was right on the beach, and the other was a couple of hundred metres back from the beach in a shopping centre. What we're going to do today is head south along the Cottesloe beachfront and look at three cafe sites and their bike parking. Now, two of these cafes are still up and running. The third one closed goodness knows when because the building it's in is going to be demolished and redeveloped. So let's jump on the bike, go down the beach and have a look. Before we do that, let's have an obligatory look at the beach itself. Now, I filmed this over a couple of different days, so you'll see the lighting is completely different in some of these shots. And on this particular day, it was blowing a gale and not a great day at the beach. But as I pan around here, I just want you to have a look at this site here. This is Indiana, and Twiggy Forrest has shown some interest in this, and he wants to redevelop it and put up something rather on the public land behind it. And there's a lot of objection from local residents about this. And the thing which cracks me up is they're so keen on parking around here that I reckon if he proposed a 10-storey concrete, ugly parking structure there so that people could drive down the beach and park conveniently, it'll probably get waved through by council and all the residents. But try and build a bike lane, oh my God, ugly, end of the world. Well, we'll start with the Old Beaches Cafe, and this place still has parking, even though there's no point stopping here and trying to get a coffee or anything to eat because it closed years ago. And then we have the Cottesloe General Store, which, whilst it's quite a trendy place to sit outside, I couldn't find anywhere to park a bike nearby. I just had to lean my bike up against this sign. I don't know what would you do if a whole bunch turned up where they'd stick their bikes. They'd just be all over the place. Maybe the locals know what to do. Maybe they walk across the road to this bike rack in a car park. But I'm a lazy cyclist. There's no way I'm going to walk across the road, park there, and then walk back again. El Lido is the last one up the road, and it actually has very good bike parking right next to their open air seating area. And this is where I normally park my bike. And if that rack was full, I'd just go across the road and park there. But let's have a look at how we ride along the beachfront from cafes we've reviewed previously to El Lido at the end. And I think the nicest way to do it is to ride along this beachfront kind of walkway, but even when there's a small number of pedestrians on it, it's not a good place to ride because it's narrow, it's curvy, it's got lots of stuff on the side that you could bash into. It quickly narrows once it gets past this car park. And in summer, when this car park is full of cars and the beach is full of people, this path is absolutely covered with people side to side. And look how narrow it gets here, and you've got bus stops, etc. Not a good place to ride. Just don't do it. So we're at El Lido, and we'll just cross over here and have a quick look at the bike parking. So what I normally do when I come here is I actually ride down the street we're looking at and don't ride along the beachfront because I just find riding along the beachfront to be not a great experience. Although the council has a master plan where they intend on spending millions of dollars upgrading it and improving it. I'll talk about the food later as well, not now, but I haven't found anything down here that's great. So look, just a quick look at beaches, what it used to be like. This was a seating area out here with tables and chairs and canopies and things, and this was a really nice place to sit and watch the world go by. Like I said, this building is slated for demolition and replaced by a 6-storey apartment complex of some sort. I'm sure it'll be very flash and fancy when it gets built, and you can see how the character of the area has changed from something that was a bit rough and ready and almost uni student-y 30 years ago to flashy Gold Coast ritzy stuff these days. Now, the second way is right on the road, and although this is a 40-kilometre-hour speed limit, I don't think there's many drivers that actually stick to the speed limit, and I really dislike that. It's got pinch points, it's narrow, it's got islands, there's no bike lane. You're neither fish nor fowl, so to speak. If you're riding here, you're riding too slow for the drivers who can get aggressive or do close passes. This is like a notorious area for close passes where those islands are, so not great. The third way is right on the footpath on the other side, except then you've got to deal with prams and little kids on scooters and things like that. So, it's great that the council's got this master plan where they're going to do up this whole area and hopefully make it really friendly for pedestrians and little kids on scooters and stuff like that. But at the moment, I wouldn't say it's that great. So we're just going from El Lido to Beaches here. You can see the sign there for the redevelopment. And I came over here to look for bike parking to see if there was anywhere to stick the bike on this side of the road. And look, there's a share bike scheme with a little parking area, but nothing apart from that fence, I guess, where you could chain your bike up. And oh, look, payphone. Don't see many of them anymore. But, you know, if you're saying, oh, God, what are you whinging about bike parking? Well, have a look at this car park over the road, and we'll have a look at how many car spaces there are, because obviously this is a very popular place for people to come in summer, and this car park is usually absolutely full to the brim, as are all the other car parks in the area, and you'll see drivers just going round and round and round and round and round waiting for a car parking spot to open up. I haven't looked at the master plan, but maybe they're going to demolish these car parks and return this to being green open space, which would be really nice, and that'll provide space for, I guess, a really nice wide shared path or a dedicated bike path through here. But, you know, there is some bike parking here. Pretty useless if you're going to the cafes because, like I said, lazy cyclists aren't going to park here and walk across the road. Fine if you're riding down the beach, if you're a local, you've got an old beater bike that you picked up on the side of the road and you stick your thongs on and you stick your towel over your shoulder and you don't wear a helmet, you just roll down the hill and park the bike there, and if it's gone when you come back, well, who cares? But, you know, that's the kind of parking I think it is. But look, anyway, Cottesloe in general, I haven't really found a cafe yet which has a menu which suits what I'm after to eat when I'm riding. Beautiful place to come down for a coffee, though, if you're here at the right time of the day, and I can definitely recommend it for that. But everything else, yeah, I'm not so sure, and the parking definitely ranges from, you know, good to non-existent.